than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's...
And welcome to Superwomen Live, the official show of the Melbourne Vixens and Netball Victoria. And this week's edition is proudly presented by the Melbourne Vixens major partner, RACV Resorts. They're offering great savings to all Vixens and RACV members. Now, the girls are over in New Zealand at the moment. We're going to catch up shortly with Madison Browne and Sarah Wall, a couple of the zippy mid-quarters, to talk about their prospects against the Canterbury Tactics tomorrow. But if you've ever wanted to travel with the Vixens, a fantastic opportunity is available for you. Join us on the first ever supporters tour to Wellington, when our Vixens take on the Central Pulse in round 13. When you're not meeting the team or watching them play, explore the sights of Wellington. For more information, visit melbournevixens.com.au. A fantastic initiative and allowing Vixens fans to travel with the team and also see the city of Wellington. I was in Wellington 2 months ago. Beautiful place. It's like a miniature Melbourne. It's a wonderful city, a lot of culture. Get along there and check that one out as well. So get to the website, melbournevixens.com.au. As we did last week, we've got 5 double passes to give away tonight to the Melbourne Vixens' next home game, and that is a couple of weeks away, Sunday the 20th of May. It's against the Northern Mystics at Hisense Arena. We've been giving away a lot of these double passes, had a terrific response from listeners, and another opportunity for you here. We'll do it SMS-based, 0433 98 11 16. You've got to answer the question, who is your favourite Melbourne Vixen and why? And we'll give away some double passes to the best answer, 0433 98 11 16, your favourite Melbourne Vixen and why. But we're going to be joined now by our first guest. Our first guest on Superwomen Live for this Sunday night, of course, our 7th edition. We're going to be checking in with a couple of mid-quarters tonight, Madison Browne and Sarah Wall, a couple of the speed machines in the middle of the court. The Melbourne Vixens 5-0, their first trip to New Zealand for this season. They're over in Christchurch at the moment, getting ready to take on the Canterbury Tactics, who are, I guess, didn't have huge expectations on them at the start of the season, but have appeared to have improved a little bit over the early part of the year. Madison Browne is our first guest. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be on to have a chat.
Now, how's the day gone? I guess touching base in New Zealand this morning. I imagine it's been nice and busy, and then tomorrow, do you get a little bit of time to relax before the night game, or...?
Yeah, so we left early this morning, really early start at the airport. Everyone had to be there by 10 to 7 and then hopped on a plane at 9 o'clock, flew straight over, and with the 2-hour time difference, we got here and it was already 2 o'clock. Quickly had some lunch at the airport, whatever we could grab, and straight off the plane onto the training court. We went to just have a bit of a run through, blow out any cobwebs and any fatigue, because a lot of the time sitting on the plane you do feel a little bit stiff and a little bit achy. So yeah, it was really, really good to have a bit of a run out and straight to our beautiful accommodation. We're out at Pepper's Clearwater Resort in Christchurch, and it's spectacular views. It's on a lake. It's really, really beautiful. So looking forward to enjoying some of the scenery and maybe having a coffee out on the balcony tomorrow. Fantastic.
Must be, I guess, a nice change heading across to New Zealand after the 5 games in Australia. It's obviously, there are differences in the way the sides play, but even collectively as a group to get away and head over to New Zealand. So it must be a nice change for the team as well.
Yeah, we're obviously bringing in a couple of girls along due to some injuries that have never ever been away with the Vixens or haven't actually been to New Zealand. So it's really, really exciting to show them what we do on the road. Jo Weston obviously coming in as a youngster, just so enthusiastic and just delighted to be part of the group. So it's really good to see the excitement and enthusiasm she brings to the group. And she goes, "Oh, we get this." And you go, some things you take for granted. So it's really exciting to see it from her eyes.
Speaking of those changes, obviously no Bianca Chatfield. We know the 3 noted circle defenders have sort of played keeper, goal defence, wing defence for Chatfield, Corletto and Mentor. Who's likely to get that opportunity now, I guess, playing in a wing defence role, or is it going to be another circle defender and they play Corletto through that role? I guess, who are some of the contenders that could come in and play that wing defence role now?
Yeah, so I think, as you said, like the best thing about our team over the last few weeks, and I think why we've had so much success, has been the versatility within our group and being able to change at both ends and even into centre court players in different positions to provide something different towards our game. And I think obviously Jiva and Julie will probably start in those defensive circle roles, and it'll give the opportunity to a young Michaela Wilson in our group, or even a Jo Weston. Casey Stanaway's away with us, and depending on, they have a really short, zippy wing attack, so we may even have to throw a Sarah Wall or a Chelsea Nash into the mix. So we have a lot of versatility, as you can just see from what I've mentioned with those names. So I have no worries at all that we can definitely still get the job done, even without our power leader in Bianca on the court.
What's been the message from the coaching staff this week? Obviously, the last two wins have been at the death, coming from behind. Has it been one of basically, I guess, the sense of pride and confidence in the fact that you've been able to come back, or has it been perhaps addressing the issues why you fell behind in both matches? Has there been a major focus on the back of those two heartstoppers?
I think it's been both of those things. I think it's been great, the fact that in our first few games of the season we got out to really good starts and held a significant lead over those teams. And obviously the last couple of weeks have been nail-biting finishes, and we've been able to have to fight out the game and really come from behind. So I guess it shows that we can do both types of things, but you're right in the sense that why were we ever in that position in the first place? We should never have been that far behind, and we haven't really had the greatest starts over the last 2 weeks against Magic and Firebird, so we've been rectifying that and focusing on just the basic things. A lot of the time they're turnovers that we're creating, and it's not the defence. So yeah, we really need to cherish the ball and make the most of every opportunity and make sure we put the pressure on the opposition on the scoreboard so that we can set up our game and play the consistent brand of netball we want to be playing.
Have you had a look much at the tactics this season as to what you can expect from them? I mean, win-loss record doesn't look too different to previous seasons, but the way they've played has been. They've been a lot more competitive. They could have won 2 or 3 of their other games, beat the Swifts over in New Zealand, to have won a few games. So obviously they are going to be a difficult customer, but at the same time offering something different to what you've played against already. Joe Harton coming across from the UK looks to have had a big impact for them, but I guess anything in particular you've noted about the way they've gone about their business this year that I guess poses something tricky for you?
Oh, every team in the competition is really, really tough, and as you said, they all provide something different. Joe Harton provides a really, really strong spearhead goal shooter down there for them, and their defence just seems so relentless and so just constantly on the move and constantly having a go and an attack at the ball. So we're really going to have to make sure that, as I said earlier, we cherish every ball that we get and putting that pressure on them early, making sure that we move the ball quickly and when we have options and making sure we provide them. But also with them, I think, over the past few years we've seen that when the Australians put on that one-on-one defence, New Zealand teams don't usually like it. So I think defensively we'll be focusing on our one-on-one pressure to hopefully create those turnovers and then scoring off them and being really frugal with the ball, because these days every possession counts. Speaking
to Maddie Browne, just a couple before we let you go as well. Obviously, formerly with the Vixens and the Kestrels, and then went across to Western Australia and then back to the Vixens. I guess, what have been some of the differences between, say, the game here in Melbourne and the game in WA, and I guess the major motivation for returning back to the Vixens?
I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to go and play in Perth. It was an amazing time of my netball career, and I wouldn't change it for the world. They gave me an opportunity to play in the ANZ Championship week in, week out, and, grow as a player and grow as a person about, moving away from family and friends. And I just really wanted to come back home. As I mentioned, family and friends are in Victoria. I'm a Geelong girl, and I just love playing for the Vixens, and I really wanted to come back. And I'm so passionate about providing netball opportunities for the community and giving back to netball at our grassroots. So that really forced me to come back. But in regards to the way the different game is, I guess at Vixens, we have a very professional approach to the way we go about our netball. We've got some amazing staff and facilities around us. We're very fortunate to have that. And in Perth, it was a very young lineup. So to come back and, to play alongside Jiva Mentor, Julie Corletto, Bianca Chatfield and Chelsea Tregear, all of those types of players, you really pinch yourself going, I'm so lucky to be in a team like this. So I'm delighted to be back playing for the Vixens.
Now, you're one of the shorter players in the league, but rely heavily on speed. What's, I guess, the best advice you could give to young players on how to improve pace, how to make sure, I guess, you remain sharp? Is there anything in particular obviously you've got to have a degree of natural speed, but is there anything that you've focused on in particular in regards to training techniques or advice on maximising speed?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people, every time they see me, they go, you really are really short, aren't you? And it's like they're very shocked and surprised. But I guess you've got to make the most of what you can offer to the game and your strengths. And as you said, one would be my quick hands and probably my speed. So in the gym, we do a lot of sprint technique work and power, and also some pliers and things like that to make sure you're light on your feet and ready to explode off the blocks to get away from your opponent. So I guess I focus on those little things. And for me, being a bit of a shorter player too, to be able to hold your strength and hold your positioning around the top of the circle is really important. And at Vixens training, we do a lot of bag work as well, making sure we're hitting each other and, having that physical presence on us and being able to take those knocks week in, week out. So I guess if you look at those things, it could obviously help because it's definitely helped me along my pathway.
Likely opponents this week, someone like a Marie Bowden or something like that. I guess you may have played on her a number of times as a Silver Fern player. I think she played 15 tests or something like that. I guess your thoughts on that, and then by extension, who's the toughest opponent you've faced?
Yeah, Marie is a really tough opponent out on the court. As you said, she's got a lot of experience playing for the Silver Ferns, and she's just a really smart player, and she's a great leader for that team, and she really directs their play. So if we can shut her down this week, I think that'll be a very good start to getting a good win on the board. But my toughest opponent, there's been a lot over the years. I mean, wing defence, a lot of juniors go, I don't want to play there, but it is such a crucial role in putting the pressure on the feeders and making sure that, the wing attack can't set up the plays and be the playmaker down that end. But for me, I guess this year it's probably Renee Hallinan, obviously a former Vixens teammate, and she's one of my best friends. So not only is it a physical challenge because she's got amazing long arms over the ball, but it's a mental challenge as well because when we played them in Adelaide, I had to stay on and I was staying on with her, so I was hoping that I had a bet even after our 14-point win against her, but she was fine about it.
And a couple as well that we like to throw out in regards to, I guess, the fans getting to know the players a little bit more. You mentioned you're a Geelong girl. Does that give an insight into who you barrack for in the AFL?
Oh yeah, Khan the Cats. I can't go against them. My dad played for them, and obviously my uncle did as well growing up. And as I said, being a Geelong girl, I've had really no choice. But yeah, I'm a Cats girl through and through.
And this one we also like to throw up there as well. If you had the choice to swap your talents in netball for any other sport, if you could play any other sport at the elite level, have you considered what that might be in an ideal world?
Oh, I'd love to be a professional surfer. I think they live the life. I love the warm weather. I love the beach, and to be able to, travel the world and do some really cool things, I think I'd love to do that. So if I could be a professional, have a day in the life of a professional surfer, I think I'd be set.
Goes with the Geelong lifestyle as well. And also the Swiss Multivites commercials. Are you feeling confident? And I guess, have you got a plug that you might be able to give if anyone wants to find a way to vote for you and ensure that you get the job done there?
I'm definitely not confident. I'm up against some really tough competitors in that. But, obviously vying for the Swiss Netball Ambassador role for 2013. And I'm promoting the UltiBoost Liquid Iron. And if you're tired, you'll feel better on Swiss. So get on Facebook, the Swiss Vitamins page, and vote for Maddie Browne. I'd love to have everyone's support. And hopefully I can get that gig. That'd be awesome.
Maddie, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck for tomorrow. Congratulations on the season so far. And hopefully we can speak to you again soon.
Oh, it'll be a pleasure. Thank you.
Madison Browne joining us on the line. Hopefully we can get her in the studio over the next few weeks over in Christchurch at the moment. Now, SMS listener question. Now, we've got 5 double passes up for grabs for the Vixens' 4th home game. It's against the Northern Mystics. It's their next home game. It's the 20th of May. So they're in Christchurch this week. Then they play in Sydney next week. And then the week after, they're back at home at Hisense Arena against the Northern Mystics. Want you to SMS in. We've got a couple of nominations already that we'll go through later. Who's your favourite Vixen Vixen and why. 0433 98 11 16. Your favourite Melbourne Vixen and why. Shoot that through to us and we'll assess the answers and give away 5 double passes. But if you don't win a double pass, still got a chance to see the Superwomen of netball. The Melbourne Vixens take on New Zealand's top team, as we said, the Northern Mystics, on Sunday the 20th of May at Hisense. Don't miss out on a spectacular match. Purchase your tickets through Ticket Tech now. Of course, the Mystics getting beaten by the Firebirds today, looking a little wobbly on the road, so a good chance for the Vixens to get the job done there as well. We'll take a break and Sarah Wall to join us. 1 minute to 11 o'clock, Sports Overdrive. You're listening to Superwomen Live. All part of it, of course, the official show of the Melbourne Vixens and Netball Victoria. This week's edition proudly presented by the Melbourne Vixens major partner, RACV Resorts, offering great savings to all Vixens and RACV members. Our SMS question to win a double pass to the Melbourne Vixens' next home game against the Northern Mystics on the 20th of May is, who is your favourite Vixen and why? 0433 98 11 16 is that number. Shoot us through an SMS at the end of the program. We'll go through some of the nominations and award some of those prizes. 0433 98 11 16 is that number. Now, the Victorian Institute of Sport are holding a fun afternoon for young women in sport on the 19th of May, hosted by Melbourne Vixens champion Sherelle McMahon, with an expert panel that includes Australian Diamonds coach Lisa Alexander. I hear from the experts about body image, what it takes to be an elite athlete, and balancing sport and life. Contact the VIS for more info. If you'd like to find out more info on that, contact us here, 9429 11 16. We'll give you the details and point you in the right direction there. May 19th, of course, is that day for young women in sport. Time for our next guest. Our second chat on Superwomen Live for this Sunday night is with Sarah Wall. Had a huge impact last week in the last quarter against her former side, the Queensland Firebirds, as the Vixens for the second week in a row came from behind to snatch it by a point at the death. Sarah Wall, first time I've spoken to you since Sports Overdrive, I think late last year, but nice to have you on the program again.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and yeah, we're really excited that we can get an opportunity to get out there and speak to people.
Now, from a personal level, must have been fantastic to get out there on the court last week and then have such a big impact in what was another stirring win.
Oh, look, it was a massive win for our team, and it just shows that I think the culture that we've got at the moment is just never give up, and it was just to come on to a group of teammates that you just have so much faith in. So my job wasn't too hard. From
the point of view of yourself when you're in that situation, obviously have spent a lot of the season sort of on the bench waiting for that opportunity, and then you get that opportunity. In terms of your own match day preparation, does that sort of pose challenges? You know that, I mean, due to matchups or injuries, you could be on the court inside the first 30 seconds, but at the same time, you might not see it until deep in the game, like we saw last week. Does it change the way you mentally prepare? Is it something that you've got to sort of make sure you're sharp, knowing that your opportunity could come, but at the same time, I guess a lot of players might say, well, I'm playing goalkeeper, I'm playing on sort of Irene Van Dijk this week. Is it a different mindset for you?
Yeah, well, you pretty much summed it up. It's pretty much... you have to prepare for each game that you are playing, and no matter what, and even if you go in with ideas that mightn't be the case, you have to pretty much play games with yourself. That's what I do anyway, and tell myself that I'm starting, and you prepare and you eat the right things, and you get yourself up and do all the video and watch your opponent, and because when that opportunity comes, you know, sometimes it only comes once, and if you don't make the most of it, for sure you can just be left. And that's another great part of the Melbourne Vixens. We've got a medical team that Steve Hawkins, it's my head physio, is talking to me throughout the game and telling me when to warm up, and called me to warm up at halftime because he just wants to make sure my body's right if they ever need me.
How long before the start of a game are the girls, I guess, notified of what the starting seven is? Like, is it something that you only find out sort of 15, 20 minutes before a game or the day before? Or?
Yeah, no, we find out 5 minutes before we go out for a warm-up. So I think Julie has an idea just to keep everyone up and prepared, and I think that's been working for us. So I think it's really important for the younger girls coming through to learn that from us as well, and to prepare just like, that they're about to step on the court as well.
After a game, when we look at training the following week for the next match, does it differ for, say, someone like yourself who might have played a quarter as opposed to someone who's played 4, or someone like a Michaela Wilson who might not have played at all? Is it heavier training to try to make sure they're up with the intensity? Is it sort of everyone does the same sort of work? Or?
Yeah, so we have a make-up session after the game. I've actually watched on the football field with the AFL. They've had them running out on the oval, but we're allowed to take that back to the VIS if we want to, or back to our own home ovals. And it's just the trainer having a lot of faith in probably all of us to make sure that we're doing the job that he has set us.
When you're playing overseas, is there a different sort of pre-game technique that you guys go through, even from a personal level? I mean, a lot of players, speaking to Maddy Browne earlier, probably haven't travelled at all in the squad at the moment. Is it difficult to go through exactly the same routine, as you said, in regards to what you eat and times you're going to sleep, given you've got a admittedly slight, but a bit of a I guess, time adjustment?
Well, over the years I've probably changed a lot, and I just like to keep it simple and not read into things too much, and probably don't have superstitions for those reasons exactly, that not everywhere you go is going to be the same. And we're really lucky with our manager this year. She knows what we all like to eat, and she makes a routine, like we are travelling interstate to home, all very similar. But as you know yourself, things pop up, and it's only as good as you deal with them at the time. And I think we've got a really relaxed nature about this team this year, and when we hit the court, it is very switched on and focused, but everyone seems to go about their own thing off the court, and there's a great level of connection between us girls. And I think, I think at this stage we're just, doing the right thing, but there's always things we can improve on.
Looking at the broader game, obviously we know the Canterbury Christchurch area went through the horrible earthquake a while back, and the Canterbury Tactics hadn't been playing at home until the early part of this season. So for the good of the game, it's great to have, I guess, sides visiting the area again and then playing back at home. It's obviously been a tough time for everyone, but it's a good indication of everything getting back on track, and it sounds like you guys have enjoyed your time over there in the short term, and I guess just great that everything's returned to, I guess, some sense of normality.
Yeah, that's true, and we're very mindful of the experiences that they've all gone through, and I think it's great for any town and city to get back on track and get back to normality, and for us to put on a show tomorrow night. And I know personally I love playing at my in front of my home crowd in Melbourne. It was just electric last week. I just couldn't even hear anything, and I think we owe it to them to get us for getting us over the line. Yeah,
it seems to be a pretty consistent theme. Obviously, Melbourne crowds are pretty loud as well, but when you came on the court last week, obviously the situation was pretty grim for the side at that point in time. Did you feel that sort of lift on the court? Was it a case of relying on the week before as well to sort of tap into how you were able to get back over the top of the Magic?
Yeah, I think there was not 1 second I thought we were going to lose it, and I didn't even realise we were 8 down. And just as I said before, and I'm not just saying it, it's just looking at my teammates and knowing their ability, and knowing that if we just stick to our game plan, what we can do. And Karen Howes, she just had a brilliant game, and Tegan Colwell really kept driving, and it just showed probably in our last quarter the fitness that we have, and that's something that we have to build on. I know we got back into the room and Julie actually wasn't happy at all with that game, and so we've really hit the training track this week and made sure that we've really focused on where we went wrong to get ourselves in a position like that, and also when we do get into a position like that, what do we have to do to get out of it. And it's actually been pretty tough on our legs this week, so they don't go easy on us. A
couple more, but before we let you go, we've spoken a lot about Jiva Mentor's fantastic start to the season and some of the scalps she's taken, Borrego, Bassett, Romelda Aiken a couple of times as well, and obviously having to play on Irene Van Dyke too, but a different sort of challenge for her this week. I mean, obviously Halpenny can play down there, but Joe Harton's really held them together. We were discussing this earlier with Maddy Browne as well, that she's more of your sort of quick and nimble player rather than your giant that she would have played on in the past. So it's another different challenge for her, and another good scalp hopefully for her to take.
Yeah, that's right. And every game is different, and I know you've talked about the tall forwards, but in all of their own games, they're very different. So the beauty of this year, we've had a lot of support staff, and even Sherelle McMahon coming back in and doing video, and the girls have been speaking a lot about, playing a different sort of game and a different style that we do each week. We're just not one-dimensional. You've also got Julie Coletto in there that's very aerial, and she's also very quick and low on the ground. And I think the girls obviously have looked at the opposition, but then also have to capitalise on their own capabilities, and I think they'll do a great job.
And just finally, obviously last week, we know you've spent a bit of time at Queensland. Is it ever difficult fronting up against the old side?
Yeah, no, not at all, actually. It sort of feels like a while ago now. Since I did my knee, I was very lucky that the Melbourne Vixens and the VIS took me in that time. And to play up against them, I guess, if anything, I can use the experience of knowing their game style and who they look for most within the team. But that's the nature of the game these days. There's quite a lot of movement between teams, and I think that just adds value to each team that they have the strength to know from past experience about other players.
And I will just throw one more at you. Competition seems to be quite even. We saw Queensland obviously nearly win last week and then smash the Mystics today, who are considered the best of the New Zealand sides. We've seen the Swifts win a few home games in a row. Central Pulse nearly won in Australia today as well. So just, I guess, a reminder for everyone to stay on their toes, and that there's, I guess, contenders all over the place this season, where you've got basically 10 sides now on their day that are capable of beating anyone, whereas over the last couple of seasons there's generally been perhaps 2 or 3 stragglers.
Yeah, that's true. And this year there's just such an even competition, and every team, if they're on their game, as you spoke about with the Firebirds, when they decide to play their best netball, they're very dangerous. And yeah, we've just got to prepare each game, and we're not even looking to the next game so far. Our main focus now is the tactics, and that's just been our plan since the start of the year.
Sarah Wall, thank you very much for your time. Good luck tomorrow night. Hopefully we see you out there dominating again, and the Vixens make it 6 from 6.
Thank you so much, and yeah, we really value your support, so thanks a lot.
Sarah Wall there joining us as part of the program, and 9429 1116 if you'd like to get involved. Just quickly also for Sarah Wall, got a fashion label out, Genie Boy, so jump on the website. We'll post a link to that in our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/allnightappetite, for basically exercise apparel and netball gear and that sort of thing, so jump on there and check that stuff out as well. Just about out of time on Superwomen Live. We are giving away a couple of double passes for SMS nominations for your favourite player. Dean in Berwick says Julie Corletto, because she's very quick, athletic, versatile defender, a great role model. Dean, number ending in 256, give us a call. You can head along to the clash against the Mystics. Chocking Crib Point, Bianca Chatfield, as she's from down our way, and she comes and watches Crib Point play footy. Good enough reason there as well, Chock. Give us a call too. And also Peter H, number ending 734, says favourite is Miss Browne. Great to listen to. Very enthusiastic. So give us a call as well, Peter, number ending in 734. The three of you have won a double pass to watch the Vixens take on the Northern Mystics on Sunday, the 20th of May. Scott will take your details if you give us a call. We're going to take a break. Global Game Day on the other side of this, but you have been listening to Superwomen Live. The Melbourne Vixens, of course, if you ever wanted to travel with the Vixens, join us on the first ever supporters tour to Wellington when the Vixens take on the Central Pulse in round 13. When you're not meeting the team or watching them play, you can explore the sights of the wonderful city of Wellington. For more information, visit melbournevixens.com.au. A break and Global Game Day after